Just get on here. I can see Alan's show from here. What? Check that monkey. Hey, get off, that's my seat.
Helpling, the Boiler People, proud sponsors of the Alan Titchmarsh Show. Please welcome your host, Alan Titchmarsh.
Friday's AT show. We have a star-studded lineup for you today, and I don't say that lightly. From a music legend to not one, not two, but three members of acting royalty, you're in for a real showbiz treat. First up, he's recently swapped the Caribbean for the House of Commons. I know where I'd rather be. Please welcome actor and comedian Ben Miller. And he's rarely been out of the papers since he became a father just 4 weeks ago, but thankfully he's taken time out of his hectic schedule to join us today, and he's even brought baby Eric along with him. Please welcome Simon Cowell. Welcome, Simon, and of course Britain's Got Talent finalist Steve Hewlett a little later. Thanks, Steve. Also on the show, they're bringing mischief and mayhem to the West End in the smash hit musical Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Please welcome Samantha Bond and Rufus Hound. So nice, Rufus, when people dress up. That's lovely. Charming. And it's Friday, which means my favourite kitchen goddess is back. What's on the menu today?
I'm a goddess now.
Well,
it just gets better and better around here. I thought I'd do fish as it's Friday. A nice, simple, cheap fish cake. You can just make it from what you've got in your store.
Well, not cheap, inexpensive.
Yeah, go on. Come on.
Not inexpensive. Plus, with St Patrick's Day fast approaching, drinks guru. Helen, try saying that when you've had one. And I haven't. Drinks guru Helen McGinn's here to get us in the mood for St Patrick's Day.
Yes, we have. We've got some Irish-themed drinks coming up later on.
Irish steamed.
Themed.
Oh, steamed drink. Deaf as well as dumb. And finally, should dogs be banned from public places like restaurants and shops? Don't miss today's ding-dong when broadcaster James O'Brien takes on one half of the Barking Blondes. He's a braver man than me, tell you. But before all that, my first guest is unquestionably a music legend. 47 years after his #1 smash hit, Release Me, he joins me today with news of his 80th album. Please give a warm 80 welcome to Engelbert Humperdinck. And I thought you might have stopped at 70, but you carried on with another 10. And this is it. It's called
That's when you see
Engelbert Calling.
Yeah.
And the story behind it is what?
The story behind it is I've never done a duet album in my life, you know, and so we were discussing my record company, Conehead, and my manager, who's my son, Scott. We were discussing what new things to do in life, and we were listening to an Elton John live show, and in the live show he said, when I was a struggling artist, he said, and I had my flat in London with Bernie Taupin.
Yes.
He said, we were looking for a person like Engelbert Humperdinck to come along and record one of our songs. Well, I finally called, and he answered. And so now we're calling the album Engelbert Calling.
So you're duetting on here with...
Elton started the ball rolling. He's such a wonderful man.
So you got one with Elton, you got with Smokey Robinson.
Yes, Smokey Robinson, Willie Nelson, Gene Simmons from Kiss, you know, Johnny Mathis, Warwick Lulu.
You've had a long and illustrious career. Do you get a bit nervous performing with some of them?
I'll be honest with you, I really did get nervous.
Yeah.
Because these people are all all legends, you know, and they've had so much experience, and I've never been performed with other artists before, so I did get nervous, and they've done it many times. Elton's done it so many times, and he was kind of used to it. But when he came to LA to record, you know, he was very relaxed, and he made me feel really comfortable. We sat and talked before we got into the studio to record, so you know, he made me feel comfortable. Great guy, wonderful man.
Now, we're very grateful for you coming over, but you very nearly didn't get it. I got a slight problem at the airport.
I got to the airport in LA, and we went to the counter, and I took my passport out to give to them, and it was my wife's passport.
Do you look anything like one another?
You cross-dresser. So anyway, you know, we had an hour, and I live 20 minutes by normal traffic from the airport, but now it's rush hour. Now I'm sweating. I really am sweating, like I am now. But we made it with 10 minutes to spare. Yeah, we got the passport to the airport. 10 minutes to spare.
We got a lovely picture here from the old days with Tom Jones. There's the two of you. Do you ever see one another now? Do you keep up to him?
Would I?
Tom Jones. Do you ever see him?
I haven't seen Tom in probably 27 years.
Oh, gracious me,
You know, we don't cross paths because he lives over here, I think, and I live in LA. You know, people ask me which do I prefer. Well, my work is in LA because it's close to go here or there, but my home is in England.
And you got home. You still got home near Leicester.
Pardon me?
Near Leicester, you.
I'm a Leicester lad, yes. But I like going back to Beverly Hills now and again and see old friends with new faces. You know, it's. Believe me, Alan, when you see one, they all look alike. They must be the same doctor.
What? I tell you what, it's such a relief to talk to somebody from LA whose face is moving when I talk to him. All over.
No, I may have a little bit of this, but you know, I'm gonna grow old gracefully.
Or disgracefully.
Oh, not disgracefully.
Do you still? I mean, you're very conscious of being a Leicester lad. I mean, over there. Are you still? A friend of mine always says, "I'm still like a boy in a sweet shop." You know, it's still a great thrill to be a part of that kind of life, that kind of business. But the important thing is to remember where you've come from. Is that important to you?
Very important. I mean, everything I do, anything charity-wise, always goes back to my hometown.
Yeah.
And with that, they've bestowed me with many accolades, you know, and I really feel proud of the fact that I come from Leicester.
You've got a one night at the London Palladium, Sunday
on May the 4th.
4th of May. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where we were doing it, you know, sort of promoting the album in a way that and have some guests on, you know, from the album come and guest with me. It's going to be very exciting.
Are they going to get Please Release Me? Do you still sing it?
You know something? I recorded that. That was the last one on the album to be recorded by Winona Judd. And she's a very good country singer. And how it happened, my daughter's boyfriend was in Nashville, and she was at the airport, and she bumped into him, and they knew each other, and said, "Hey, what you been doing?" He said, "I was with Engelbert, and he's making a new album, and I was helping out, you know, rehearsing." And she said, "Well, why didn't you ask me?" So he said, "Well, give me a number, and I'll give him a call." And anyway, we got talking on the phone, and she agreed to do it.
Wonderful story.
And she did a wonderful job, that one.
Well, the album Engelbert Calling is out this Monday, and Engelbert will be back at the end of the show performing Make You Feel My Love. My thanks for now, though, to Engelbert Humperdinck. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you. Still to come, Nadia reveals a healthy alternative to fish and chips Friday when she whips up some spicy salmon fish cakes. Plus, it's the latest musical to arrive in the West End. Dirty Rotten Scoundrel stars Samantha Bond and Rufus Hound reveal all on the crime caper. We'll be back in a bit.
Alan. Helplink, the boiler people, proud sponsors of the Alan Titchmarsh Show.
This child, it's life. Gets to you in ways you didn't think it would. You think